what are the roles that you usually hire for?
I'm 100% sure that there won't be 300 jobs available for you. The most common reasons a hiring manager rejects a candidate are actually, and let's say I'm able to find 3 amazing, very relevant candidates in the very first 10 applications. The remaining 140 candidates are just getting rejected. In my 4-5 years of experience recruiting in Canada for one of the major banks, I have never reviewed a cover letter. So even to have some conversation with even 10 people, you'll have to connect with 100 people.
When you posted this story on Instagram, I was like shocked.
I know candidate A has more experience, but a lot of times that candidate B will get the job. Why?
So now I'm going to ask you to spill some beans here.
Use AI for your benefit. Don't use it for resume building. Do it for resume reviewing just to make it more refined. For 80 anti-money laundering officers.
How did your content creation journey start?
Yeah, so the reason I'm not creating content on YouTube as of now, it's not that I don't want to or I don't like it now.
Our today's guest is Nishant Kalia, a recruiter in banking industry, a certified coach, and someone who knows exactly what hiring managers are looking for. In this episode, he shares valuable insights that actually work in today's job market. From resumes, red flags, and recruiter ghosting to using AI tools smartly and building real connections through networking. This episode is for you if you're a newcomer, job seeker, or someone looking to crack into the banking world in Canada. And yes, before we wrap up, I also asked him why he stopped posting on YouTube despite having 144,000 subscribers and whether he plans to return. So make sure to watch this episode till the end. And as I always say, don't forget to hit the like button and also subscribe to the channel, as it truly helps and motivates me to bring more such valuable and inspiring conversations to you. Now, without any further ado, let's dive right into all things hiring, hustling, job hacking, and content creation with Nishant Kalia. Hello, Nishant.
Hi, Neha. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good as well.
Welcome to today's episode.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for saying yes to this. I'm going to put you on spot because as a recruiter,
Right.
I'm assuming कि आप लोगों को have your elevator pitch ready and introduce yourself.
Right.
So I hope you have your elevator pitch ready.
Bilkul, definitely.
Thoda, if you want to introduce yourself to the guests who are seeing you for the first time.
Sure. So my name is Nishant Kalia. I landed in Canada back in 2019. So I was in Toronto. I lived there for almost 3 years and then moved to Calgary in 2022. As a profession, as you already mentioned, I'm a recruiter, like recruiter as an HR recruiter. And I hire people. So yes, if you are looking for a job, obviously you can connect with me. So yeah,
yes.
That's all about me, like in short. But yeah, apart from the professional job as a recruiter, I also create content. On YouTube, on Instagram, on LinkedIn as well. I mean, if you're looking for some value added information about job search, about Canada, anything, you can definitely check my social platforms.
Yeah, you'll find him everywhere. Any social platform. You just have to search for him.
Thank you so much.
Why Canada? Why did you immigrate to Canada?
Honestly, ऐसा कोई plan नहीं था, to be honest.
अच्छा.
Right. I had a plan that I want to travel. I want to travel abroad, different countries, but never thought कि हाँ मैं permanently कहीं पे move हो जाऊँगा, कहीं पे settle हो जाऊँगा. ऐसा कोई plan नहीं था. But one of my relatives, he actually suggested me.
Okay.
Because he was actually looking to move,
but
he couldn't at that time because of his age, because he was not getting the points. So he actually guided me that there is actually a process called Express Entry, where you can make your profile and based on your score, you can actually move to Canada. So that is when I started looking into it. I think it was 2018 and 2019 I was here.
Oh, wow. That was quick for you.
Yeah. Fortunately, at that time, the cutoff scores were not that high.
Because this was COVID time, right?
It was, COVID started in 2020, March.
2020.
Yeah,
you were here in 2019.
First July, Canada Day.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What a day to move
Exactly.
here. So, pura celebrations.
बिल्कुल मेरे लिए celebration था.
That's right. So, how were your first few months in Toronto?
First few months were amazing. Like new country, new place, new experiences.
And summertime.
Summertime. Like clear blue skies as compared to the grey skies that I was coming from in Delhi.
Right.
So हर चीज मतलब इतनी सुंदर लग रही थी. Everything was like Insta worthy, to be very honest, though at that time I didn't have any Insta profile.
Yeah.
But yeah, like everything was amazing. Like the world that we were living in, I mean, our new experiences.
Right.
For example, the one very, very shocking thing that I experienced on the very first day was that how easily I was able to just cross the road.
Without looking anywhere.
Without looking anywhere, without any tension, I can just cross the road.
Right.
So yeah.
But I think जैसे ही आप almost integrate हो रहे थे in the Canadian culture, COVID happened.
Exactly.
And everything, आपका जो वो था road cross करने का, you wouldn't. यार अभी मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगा sort of.
That's true. So what happened? Like usually for a lot of newcomers, अभी भी not just back in 2019 or 2015, but even अभी भी मतलब the major challenge is job search and house hunting.
True.
जो शुरू में सबको दिक्कत आती है. Fortunately for me, because me and my wife Tanu, like we started networking when we were in India.
Okay, तो आप बहुत ही proactive थे.
हाँ, मतलब we were proactive. We started networking back in India itself, and because of that, we had a few connects. So as soon as we landed, we had 2 interviews lined up. So we gave the interview, got the job. So वो दिक्कत तो नहीं आई. But definitely I won't say कि challenge नहीं था. Challenge ये था कि उसके just 6 महीने बाद कोविड हो गया, तो जो जॉब मिली हुई थी वो चली
गई. Because मेरा first question यही होने वाला था कि what were your challenges in job hunting? या आपका first job आपने like store job से start किया या what was it?
नहीं, store job तो नहीं था वो office job ही, but I would say it was still very basic,
but not bad
kind of a job. Yeah, not bad. I mean, it was still in my field, in HR operations.
Okay.
But it was for one of the medical facilities. So it was a very small team of 25 people, and I was just there as an HR admin staff, just to take care of any HR inquiries, recruitment processes. So yeah, I was doing that.
आप HR हो तो you would know better. But anyone who's coming new, starting from a basic role like maybe HR admin is a good place, I feel. कि आपको Canadian workplace का पता चलता है. You get to learn how it is, and आते you don't want to get like full-fledged into like अभी काम करना in a big role. How do you feel about that?
Like my perspective is कि if you are actually getting a good job, why not? Right? Why you don't have to be scared, right? But my perspective would be like, fine, I was lucky to get a proper office job. But I would have been open, like we were mentally prepared कि जाके अगर स्टोर में भी काम करना पड़ेगा, चाहे वो वॉलमार्ट हो, मैकडी हो, टिम हॉर्टन्स, so we'll do that.
Yeah.
Like we were flexible enough कि भाई जाके our first thing is to survive.
Right.
Survival के साथ साथ we'll build up, we'll like upskill ourselves, we'll do certification, whatever is required. But survival के लिए करना है, because you'll gain that experience, because you'll get the exposure and meet new people, right? वो जो एक exposure है कि आप जाके आप रोज जो Canadians हैं उनसे मिल रहे हो, उनसे बात कर रहे हो, तो वो एक exposure, वो experience ही अपने आप में काफी valuable होता है. So my perspective would be कि जॉब कोई भी मिल रही हो, एक बार आप घुस जाओ, ले लो, start working, get that exposure, talk to people. That is how you will build more connections.
True.
Right? So like you should definitely do it regardless of whatever job you're getting.
आपने लेकिन मेंशन किया कि आपने इंडिया से ऑलरेडी नेटवर्किंग करना शुरू किया था. So what were the channels that you started networking? How did you reach out to people?
Yeah, for me it was primarily LinkedIn ही था. वैसे like you would also know, like whenever we immigrate, right, IRCC also sends you a lot of those links to the newcomer organizations. Right? So we had those links. We used to attend their events and whatever meetings that they have.
Right.
So we used to do that. In fact, one of the job that I got was through Access Employment. Access Employment, right?
Right.
Yeah, in Toronto.
Yeah.
So they invited us for a meet because there was one company, I think McCain's.
In India?
No.
Yeah.
So I was in India only, but we were doing these online events for like schedule these events for all those people who are now
coming.
moving.
Yeah.
Right. So the company was, I think, McCain's. Right. So they were coming with Access Employment for a regular networking event with the newcomers.
Okay.
So they had a lot of people from different verticals. Right. So obviously my focus was more on the HR. So I found that, okay, yeah, there is one person who is coming from the HR as well. So yeah, I joined the invite. We attended the networking session, and then you had time to connect with that specific person that you actually want to connect with. So we did that. At that time, they didn't say that they have any opportunities coming up or what. They just wanted to meet those people. But after probably 15 days, we got the email that, okay, they are hosting a job fair now, and these are the jobs that are available. So there were HR related jobs also available. I applied, I gave 2 interviews, and so interviews I gave when I landed. Because by the time I had already moved. So the second round of interview happened when I landed, I think 2 days after when I landed.
Okay.
And I got the job.
Okay.
But it was in New Brunswick.
Job was in New Brunswick.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
क्योंकि
the
उनका McCain's का I think जो पूरा plant वगैरह सब कुछ है वो New Brunswick में. So job थी New Brunswick में. And you were like, यार अभी तो move हुए टोरंटो, अब दोबारा से move करके New Brunswick में जाना, it will be again a new place, and plus जब आप when you are a newcomer, you only know 2 places usually, Toronto, Vancouver. Right. उसके अलावा कुछ भी जगह सुनने में you are scared कि यार जाएं ना जाएं. So I didn't go for that position. क्योंकि मेरी लग गई लेकिन वाइफ की नहीं लगी थी अभी, और फिर ऐसी जगह जाए जहाँ पे कुछ ना हो ना, then it will be very difficult. So we didn't do that. But by the time I had another interview for this HR for one of the medical facilities, so I got that job.
Okay. But again, LinkedIn पे when you reach out, especially जब आप कनाडा में हो भी नहीं, I'm pretty sure it wasn't
easy. Obviously, like a good response rate on LinkedIn, which I always tell people even right now, would be hardly 8 or 10%. So even to have some conversation with even 10 people, you'll have to connect with 100
people. Okay.
Right? Minimum. That's the minimum, right? So definitely it was a challenge, but I tried. Like I had time, right?
Right.
So I got my PR, the passport request email that you get, in 4th of April. We landed on 1st of July. So it was almost 3-month gap. So I utilized that 3 months just for the networking purpose.
Right.
So that at least when I'm landing, at least I know I would have at least 3 or 4 or 5 people that I can send a message to that, hey, I've landed. Right. So at least you should have at least those 3 people that you can, once you're landing, you can message that, hey, now I've landed.
Yeah. And I think मेरा intention भी सवाल पूछने के पीछे यही exactly था कि people were like, इसको मिल गया, मैंने तो इतने लोगों को reach out किया. So to give context, even you must have tried 100 places and then maybe...
And then eventually I had at least 3-4 people that I can send a message to that, hey, I've landed, let's connect again to see if you have any opportunities available. Also, a lot of people, they try to do networking on LinkedIn and other professional platforms, but somehow they forget about their own family. So मेरा एक connect ये था, one of my cousin, उनके husband के best friend का एक friend. Right? So he was in Canada.
Okay.
Right? So that is how I got connected with that person.
Oh, okay.
Right? कि मैंने अपनी cousin को बताया, उन्होंने कहा कि let me talk to my husband, मतलब मेरे जीजू. उन्होंने कहा कि यार मेरा एक बड़ा अच्छा friend है, उसका कनाडा में रहता, उससे मिले थे एक बार कनाडा, वो कनाडा से इंडिया आया था लास्ट ईयर, तो उससे मैं मिला तो था, मैं उससे बात करके देखता हूँ.
Okay.
So that is how you build those connections as well.
मतलब कोई भी relationship को underestimate नहीं करना चाहिए.
कि कनेक्शन बनाना है, लिंक्डइन पे नहीं, अपनी फैमिली से भी बात करो, उनके कोई ना, अब तो इतने सारे लोग कनाडा में हैं, कोई ना कोई तो निकल ही आएगा.
True, that's true.
So build those connections.
Yeah. And you moved here in 2022.
In Calgary,
Calgary.
Yeah, 2022, 29th of September, yeah.
29. So you had a job and it was going good.
Yeah. So मैं वही job लेके ही
वही job से move
because I was anyways doing remote, because after COVID, जो I work for Manpower, which is a global recruiting firm, तो उन्होंने पूरा ही remote कर दिया था.
Okay, permanently.
कि आना ही नहीं है, remote ही करो. So I was like, अगर remote ही करना है, तो why would I stay in Toronto and pays such a high rent and everything, why not just move to Calgary?
Okay.
So मैं वही job लेके ही Calgary में
आ गए. So क्योंकि आज भी there are so many people who are trying to move from Ontario to Calgary.
Right.
So this will help them understand your perspective.
Yeah.
हर एक इंसान का perspective अलग है, but how did that move worked out in your favor?
So for me, how it worked out was, number one, as I mentioned, like it was a remote job. So I knew कुछ flexibility तो होगी, right?
Right.
Plus, but जो मेरी wife थी, she was working in a bank, but उसका remote job नहीं था.
Yeah, क्योंकि
Right?
banks में
हाँ, उसका remote नहीं था, but so हमने प्लान ऐसे किया था कि ठीक है, मेरे में फिर भी फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी है. सो अभी मैं अपने कंपनी में मैनेजर से बात नहीं करता. फर्स्ट यू फिगर आउट हाउ वुड यू मेक दिस मूव.
ओके.
जब तुम्हारा फाइनल हो जाएगा, मेरा तो फिर भी मुझे लग रहा है इजी है, रिमोट है.
Okay.
सो वी फर्स्ट फिगर्ड हर सिचुएशन आउट.
Okay.
So she applied internally for a new position, which was a remote role, which could have been done across Canada.
Right.
So she applied for that. She got that role. That is when we knew that okay, her situation is sorted now, and now I can talk to my manager that hey, my wife has got a job. I just said my wife has got a job in Calgary, so I want to move because this is a remote. Is there a possibility? And she said yes, because it's a remote. Anyways, we are not coming to office, and half of our team was like 2 of them were in Montreal, one of them was in New Brunswick.
Everyone was spread across.
Everyone was spread out. So yeah.
But mostly जब लोग टोरंटो से कैलगरी आना चाहते हैं, the factors that they are thinking of is like housing market, and it's cheaper in Calgary, and houses are good, and so many other weather.
बहुत सारे. Exactly.
So give me your experience in these aspects.
Right. See, definitely for me, the most lucrative factor was the cost of living.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. I had one of our family friends who was already living in Calgary.
Okay.
Right. So a year before, in 2021, we made a trip to Calgary for 1.5 weeks.
Just for a vacation.
हाँ, कि ठीक है, Banff जाएंगे, Jasper जाएंगे, but apart from that, so we went to Banff and Jasper only for 2 days, but the remaining 5-7 days we were purely in Calgary. We just wanted to explore the city.
Okay.
Right. So we just drove. We rented a car. We just drove across Calgary in all the quadrants.
Okay.
Right. We just had a look at how the neighborhoods are, right? How the culture is, right? Everything. So we just figured it out that okay, not just the cost of living, वैसे भी Calgary अच्छा लग रहा है.
Okay.
Right? It's closer to mountains. अच्छा लग रहा है. इसकी vibe अच्छी लग रही है. Balanced vibe है of a big city, but at the same time of a small town. It's a good balance. That is when we made the final decision. तब तक decision नहीं था.
किसी का सुन के नहीं. You yourself
we came here for 1.5 weeks. After that we finally decided कि ये तो करना है.
Okay.
We have to move. So Tanu, apply for internal opportunities. Somehow get a remote job. I don't know.
Okay.
Right, and then we'll make a move.
Okay. So अगर कोई देख रहा है, आप उनको भी advice करोगे कि this is better.
Definitely, because see, एक जो challenge जो लोगों को आता है ना, जो काफी लोग move हुए हैं, and a lot of people, कई बार मुझे खुद को ही गिल्ट हो रहा था यार, मैंने इतने लोगों को बुला लिया क्या, क्योंकि जितने लोग मुझे मिलते हैं, हम तो आप ही की वीडियो देख के आ गए हैं.
Oh, that's true.
मैं अगर जॉब नहीं लग रही, मैं कह रही यार
वीडियो
बना ली, मेरे को देख के आ गए, मुझे तो नहीं खोस रहे होंगे. तो मैं मतलब आई जस्ट वांटेड टू टेल द व्यूअर्स कि भाई डेफिनेटली कैलगरी में जॉब मार्केट इतनी इजी नहीं है. राइट. इजी एक सेंस में है डेफिनेटली कि उतना कॉम्पिटिटिव नहीं होगा एज कम्पेयर टू टोरंटो,
बट आई
पॉपुलेशन बहुत ज्यादा है.
ये सच होता उस टाइम पे, बट अभी बिकॉज इतने लोग, देयर इज सो मच इनफ्लक्स,
अब तो बहुत आ गए हैं
कि वो डायनामिक्स पूरा ब्रोक हो चुका है.
सो उस टाइम पे ये था कि हाँ उतना कॉम्पिटिटिव नहीं होगा, वो है, बट चैलेंज ये है कि नंबर ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटीज, मतलब अगर आप एब्सोल्यूट टर्म्स में देखोगे तो ऑब्वियसली टोरंटो में आपको ज्यादा अपॉर्चुनिटीज दिखेंगी जो आप अप्लाई कर सकते हो एज कम्पेयर टू कैलगरी. सो माय सजेशन, जो भी मूव कर रहे हैं, जो करने की सोच रहे हैं, ऐसे मत आ जाओ,
जॉब
पहले वहां पे रिसर्च कर लो. टोरंटो या वैंकूवर जहां पे भी हो, वहां पे रहते रहते रिसर्च कर लो कि जिस रोल में आप हो उस चीज की मार्केट कैलगरी में किस तरह कैसे है.
राइट.
आर यू एबल टू फाइंड a lot of opportunities online कि हाँ यार बहुत सारी दिख रही हैं, लिंक्डइन पे देख रहा हूँ, इंडीड पे देख रहा हूँ, तो काफी सारी दिख रही है मुझे मेरे मतलब की जॉब्स. मतलब इधर वो इंडस्ट्री है, जो आप करना चाह रहे हो, दैट इज, एंड देन यू कैन स्टार्ट अप्लाइंग फॉर दोज जॉब्स.
Right.
जब आपको लगे कि यार एक मैं पॉजिटिव स्टेप ले चुका हूँ, जो मैं जॉब्स अप्लाई कर रहा हूँ वहां से मुझे रिस्पॉन्सेज भी आ रहे हैं, मतलब कुछ पॉजिटिव साइन है, देन यू कैन मेक अ मूव.
Right.
बट अगर लग रहा है कि नहीं यार, ना तो जॉब दिख रही है, जो थोड़ी बहुत दिख भी रही है उसमें कोई रिस्पॉन्स भी नहीं आ रहा है, तो ऐसे में रिस्क लेना विल बी अ लिटिल, like I would say, a little difficult.
Yeah, but all in all, I think this is a baseline कि आप कोई भी वीडियो देख लो, it is based on their experiences.
Their experiences,
you
exactly.
have to do your due diligence.
Exactly.
Don't just follow anyone.
That's
do
true,
your
like-
due diligence.
Like when I also give guidance to candidates on the job search, right? वो मेरे अपने experiences भी हैं.
Yeah.
मेरा experiences ऐसे जो मैंने experience किया है,
Right.
वो, and also my professional experience as a recruiter.
Yeah.
Right? But वो कोई भी guidance, कोई भी tip जो है वो
100%
yeah, it
foolproof
won't work
नहीं
out for all the people the same.
Exactly.
Right? A lot of times situation, circumstances, your luck also plays
Definitely.
a part, right? The divine power also plays a lot of, like, I would say it's a major factor.
Yeah.
Right? So काफी सारी चीजें होती हैं which brings things together. Right? So अपनी तरफ से एक्शन करो, जो जॉब सर्च टिप मिल रही है, जो लोग गाइड कर रहे हैं, सुनो, एंड देन
Do your
एनालाइज
due
कि ये
diligence.
टिप
Yeah.
मेरे लिए काम करेगी क्या ये
Yeah.
जिस रोल में मैं हूँ क्या उसके लिए काम करेगा,
Exactly.
एंड देन start taking action on that.
Yeah, I think this was perfect.
Yeah.
For anyone who wants to move. Now, going back to your HR recruiter that you are, being a recruiter in Canada versus being a recruiter in India,
Right.
what are the major differences?
Honestly speaking, like back in India, more than recruitment, I was mostly on the HR operations
Okay.
side. HR operations, client management, that was most of my, I would say,
Experience in-
90% of my responsibilities were revolving around the operations management, client management, and HR operations. Right? When you are in operations role, operations ना काफी just like a project management और a project coordination role, जहाँ पे आपको बहुत सारी चीजें देखनी होती हैं, अलग अलग. You may feel कि आप किसी भी एक चीज में स्पेशलाइज नहीं कर पा रहे हो, चीजें बहुत सारी कर रहे हो, आपको एनालाइज भी करना है, आपको रिपोर्ट्स भी बनानी है, आपको क्लाइंट्स भी हैंडल करने हैं, राइट, इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में भी हेल्प करना है, अलग अलग क्रॉस फंक्शनल टीम्स के साथ भी कोऑर्डिनेट करना है, बहुत चीजें कर रहे हो, बट आप किसी में स्पेशलाइज नहीं कर पा रहे.
Right.
तो दैट इज व्हाट आई वाज फीलिंग बैक इन इंडिया कि मैं कर तो बहुत कुछ रहा हूँ इस रोल में, बट स्पेशलाइज नहीं हो पा रहा है. तो स्पेशलिटी क्या होगी मेरी, वो मेरे को समझ में आ गया कि ठीक है, अपार्ट फ्रॉम ऑपरेशंस मैनेजमेंट, एचआर इज द फील्ड जहाँ पे मुझे काफी ज्यादा एक्सपीरियंस है. क्लाइंट मैनेजमेंट में भी मुझे बहुत एक्सपीरियंस है. दैट इज व्हेन आई रियलाइज कि यार रिक्रूटमेंट कुड बी अ गुड रोल, क्योंकि क्लाइंट मैनेजमेंट है, रिक्रूटमेंट में भी आपको क्लाइंट्स भी मैनेज करने हैं, कैंडिडेट्स भी मैनेज करने हैं. राइट. एचआर का एक्सपीरियंस है, आई वाज वर्किंग इन अ स्टार्टअप जहाँ पे मैं रिक्रूटमेंट भी कर रहा था, तो मुझे वो भी एक्सपीरियंस है. सो दैट इज हाउ आई डिसाइडेड कि यार जो मेरे पास स्किल्स और एक्सपीरियंसेस हैं वो ट्रांसफरेबल होके एक रिक्रूटर रोल में
अच्छे से
फिट हो रहे हैं. सो दैट इज व्हाट आई शुड टारगेट फॉर.
Okay.
सो दैट इज हाउ आई डिसाइडेड कि यार रिक्रूटमेंट में जाता हूँ, दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट टू डू, बिकॉज आई लाइक टॉकिंग टू पीपल, हेल्पिंग पीपल. मैं इंडिया में भी करता था, नेटवर्किंग भी मुझे करना अच्छा लगता है. सो दैट इज आई सेड ओके, लेट्स डू द रिक्रूटमेंट. सो इंडिया में रिक्रूटमेंट का एक्सपीरियंस उतना, आई वुड से, नॉट इन डेप्थ नहीं है, यहाँ पे मुझे ज्यादा है.
Right.
तो इंडिया में इट वाज मोस्टली ऑन द इंडिपेंडेंट कॉन्ट्रैक्टर्स दैट यू आर हायरिंग.
Okay.
राइट. तो वो था, बट यहाँ पे इट्स मोर प्रोफेशनल. बट मेजर like the difference is the referrals.
Okay.
मतलब in my experience as a recruiter as well, at times I have presented a very well qualified candidate to the hiring manager or the client. I know that he fits the bill perfectly, right? But at the end he doesn't get the job. Why? Manager is sending that, hey, I have a referral, can you schedule an interview with him? And when I open the resume of the referral, zero background to this field, but at the end he's getting the job. So this is the harsh reality, but वो है, and you have to understand. But इसका एक workout भी यही है that you have to network, you have to build connections. मतलब जितनी भी jobs मैंने कनाडा में करी है ना, आई डोंट रिमेम्बर मेरी कोई भी एक जॉब ऐसी होगी जो मैंने सिर्फ ऑनलाइन अप्लाई करके अब वेट कर रहे हैं जी, अब अ मिरेकल विल हैपन, समवन विल गिव मी अ कॉल एंड टेक माय इंटरव्यू. मिरेकल्स रेयरली हैपन. आपको ही जाना पड़ेगा. यू हैव टू नेटवर्क, यू हैव टू बिल्ड योर कनेक्शंस, और उस नेटवर्किंग के थ्रू ही आपको जॉब मिलेगी.
This is good to know, especially for people who are job hunting at this point.
Right.
Okay, क्योंकि आपने बोला इंडिया में you were not like solid recruiter.
Yeah, I was more on the HR side.
अभी आप जो recruitment कर रहे हो, can you give like exact आपका not position,
like how my
but
day looks like?
what your role is
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, so as a recruiter, I am basically doing the full cycle recruitment, which starts from an intake call from the hiring manager, right? That they give us a call, they explain what they're looking for. This is a position that's coming up, and this is what we need. This is what are the must-have skills that we need, and this is the kind of personality we need.
Oh, वो भी details होता है.
Right.
Okay.
Right. If नहीं भी होता तो we ask. I also ask the question to the client, as a client, I mean the hiring manager, कि have you hired for this role previously? If yes, can you give an example of a person who have been very successful in that role? So by that I can gauge that, okay, what kind of person this manager is looking for. कि उसको इस तरीके का कैंडिडेट अच्छा लगा पहले. So this is what he's looking for.
Okay.
Right? So that is what I make notes about. And then we start sourcing. Sourcing as in finding the candidates who would have the relevant skills, relevant experience, who will fit the bill.
Okay.
Right? And then we do a pre-screening round as an HR. Right? If we like the candidate, then we submit that candidate to the client. Right? And out of those submitted candidates, obviously they will also review those resumes. They will qualify a few people, and they will reject a few people. And then out of those qualified, then they will shortlist the candidates for who they want to actually
interview,
like for the client interview, right? And then as a recruiter, we are the ones who are managing and coordinating all those interviews between the hiring manager and the candidates. After that, if they get the offer, then the entire onboarding process is also taken care by me.
Okay.
Till the time the candidate is onboarded and has started in that job.
Okay.
I take care of that file or take care of that candidate.
But obviously, I'm assuming this doesn't happen like कि आज आपको जो भी उनका requirements है वो मिला and now you start finding. आपके पास already pool of candidates होता होगा.
Correct. So बहुत सारी jobs एक दिन में आती हैं, right? So at a time, if I'm hiring, I'm not just hiring for one role. I might have 10, 12, 15, 18 positions that I have to hire for.
Okay.
Right? And for each position, the manager needs at least 3 or 4 good candidates.
Okay. To shortlist from. He'll decide, but he needs 4.
He needs 4. Like usually it is 3 to 5 is to 1. For one, at least between 3 to 5 good candidates.
Okay.
Present those candidates to me. Right? It differs for a lot of recruiting firms, a lot of different processes. But for me, it's a very, very high, like a fast-paced, high-volume recruitment. Right? The deadline that I'm given is usually 48 hours.
What?
Yeah.
48 hours?
48 hours. I have to source, screen, and present 3 to 5 good candidates for that one role.
Oh.
And at present, and like at one time, you might be hiring for 10, 15 roles. Right? But what makes my job a little bit easy is because I have been hiring for that particular client or those similar kind of roles since last 2 years, 3 years or 4 years, I've already built a pipeline. So just to answer your question, right? I've already built a pipeline of those similar kind of candidates. So whenever I'm getting a job, I just see that, okay, these are the requirements, right? I would know that, okay, I've already hired for this exact role previously. So I'm a little bit like calm and relaxed that, okay, I will find the candidates, right, who will have the relevant skills. So as a process, I first look into my own pipeline, which could be in my Outlook email, which could be in my ATS or software that the company is using. So I'll first look into that, find out the candidates that I have already available who might fit the bill, right?
Okay.
And then we start sourcing and start screening the candidates.
Okay.
The only time we have to go external is when I know that either the position is completely new. I have never hired for this role before, right? Or even if I've hired, but this is a very hard to fill position because the requirements are very niche, right? That is when we have to go external, post it on LinkedIn, Indeed, everywhere,
Oh, okay.
right? So that's why another tip would be that you are not finding like the jobs that you're looking online, either on LinkedIn, Indeed, or company's career page, they are hardly 50% or even less. Because for the other jobs, the recruiter doesn't even have the need to post it
the job.
because they will be looking into their own pipeline.
Right.
So again, it boils down to the same thing, build connections so that you are into their pipeline already.
Okay. So now I'm going to ask you to spill some beans here. Sometimes, like, does it happen that companies sometimes are posting jobs online, but for the same job, they have already sent you as well? That I need.
It might happen.
Okay.
So it happens when a company is using multiple recruiting firms.
Okay.
So they are hiring themselves also, but they also know that it's a very hard to fill position. We are not getting the kind of candidates that we want.
Okay.
So now they are reaching out to multiple recruiting firms.
Oh, okay.
That is when it happens,
Okay.
right? But a lot of times when a recruiting firm has a very good business connection with a particular client,
Right.
then they just directly outsource the hiring for those particular roles to that recruiting firm or recruiter.
Okay. You might not know this answer, but I still am curious to know. Like, when a job is posted, like, according to the Canadian laws, I think, when a company posts a job posting, उनको ये दिखाना होता है कि ये job posting we have been active for 4 weeks and only then like we couldn't find, or maybe there were limited options, and then to have a fair recruitment process.
So this happens actually for the LMIA process usually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like when they want to hire an international candidate. That
Okay.
is when they have to prove to the government that this position has been open for
Okay.
the last 3 months.
Okay.
And give the proof that you have posted everywhere,
Okay.
right? And we couldn't find anyone, and that is why we are now hiring
An
someone
international
internationally
candidate.
from India, from wherever,
Okay.
right? But here in Canada, basically the rule is that a company has to post
Yeah.
the job, right?
Yeah.
Even if you have a candidate,
Yeah.
you know who you want to
Yeah.
hire,
Exactly.
but you still have to just post it
Yeah.
and then make that candidate apply
Yeah.
online, and then you can take the process from there. And that
Right.
is exactly what happens a lot of times, right? So at times I also get candidates directly from the hiring manager. That hey, this is the position, but this is the person I want to hire. Now take care of the recruitment process, post it, make him apply, and
Okay.
just
Okay.
do
Get
the
done
entire
with the
onboarding
admin
process.
work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
See, this is
that
good
what happens.
to know.
Yeah.
But I don't think we discussed yet. But what are the roles that you usually hire for?
So for me, I do the hiring primarily for the financial
Banking.
services roles.
Okay.
So just to give a few examples, I hire for anti-money laundering, compliance officers, investigation officers, credit control officers, mortgage officers, like verification officers, transaction processing officers. So yeah, a lot of financial services. So most of my hiring is actually on the back end and corporate side of
banking
rather than the branch, the front end. Usually what I've noticed, for the branch banking, banks are usually doing the hiring themselves, because a lot of branch banking roles, the entry level, they are mostly part-time. 15 hours, 21.5 hours, 22.5 hours. They usually do it themselves. But the position that I get are mostly on the back end and the corporate side of banking.
Okay. But when you have been doing this for more than 2 years now.
It's been almost 4 years now.
4 years.
Yeah.
So what are some of the skills that you're looking for?
Right. So as I mentioned, like it depends on what exactly the role is and who the manager is.
Okay.
At times the position is the same, but because they are hiring, let's say AML officers, right? Now AML officer could be hired for 3 different teams. Now all the 3 different teams will have different managers, right? So and if we have already worked with them, I know like which manager is like looking for what kind of skills more, right? okay, I know this manager is a little lenient. Okay, but this manager, he's very, very typical. Right? He would need someone who has a Canadian banking experience only.
Right.
And that only then he will be interviewing, right? So based on them, based on who the hiring manager is, and based on what their requirements are, is how you have to source the candidates. But usually for these back-end banking roles, what they're looking for is definitely some financial background, some banking background that they should have. Secondly, if the role is very typical, let's say related to a capital markets division, right? Then not just the banking experience, they would need someone who has experience in capital markets, wealth, investment, right? So these are the domain specific, or you can say the technical skill that they will be looking for, right? But a lot of times, apart from that, soft skills are very, very, very important. Not just for the hiring manager, but even for the recruiter. I'll tell you how. So for the hiring manager, it could be that, okay, person has banking experience, person has capital markets experience as well, but I need someone who is very, very attentive, like attention to details is super, because he will be verifying a lot of documents.
Right.
It will be high volume, a lot of physical documents. I need someone who can pay attention to maybe 100 documents in a day. Right? So that's a soft skill that I'm looking for. Secondly, maybe in this role, yes, you might be an individual contributor, right? But you might have to coordinate a lot with other teams. You might have to coordinate with the branches to get some information. You might have to coordinate with other teams, right? So I need someone who is great with their communication skills. So those are the soft skills that the manager is looking for.
Okay.
From the recruiter side, because we have to present a candidate to the client, I want to make sure that the candidate that I am presenting is superb. Right?
Right.
So what we'll be looking for is attitude. Right? That the person should have a good attitude, should be a good culture fit in that team is what I'm looking for. So just to give you an example, very recently, a candidate called me. Like he sent me an email and I gave him a call back because I thought that, okay, looking at his experience, he's fitting the bill for one of the roles that I'm hiring for. Okay. Right? So he has that required experience. Perfect. I gave him a call. We had a good pre-screening call, a good chat. Right? But I felt that, okay, his resume is missing a few things. He told me that he has this experience. He is explaining everything. But he didn't mention that in his resume. But this is important.
Right.
Because this is what the manager is looking for.
Right.
So you need to update your resume. Right? So I'm telling, usually no recruiter will tell.
Yeah, okay.
If you don't have that skill mentioned in your resume, skip it.
Okay.
Right? But I usually make an effort that my approach is less of transactional, more on the consultative side.
Okay.
Right? So I told him that these are the things I would suggest that you add to your resume and send it to me again. And then I can present you to the client.
Right.
What he said, Nishant, I'm in office. I'm a little busy. Can you make these changes for me? I was like, what?
When you posted this story on Instagram, I was like shocked. I'm like, how can people like do that?
Really? Like I was like, what are you saying?
Yeah.
Like, why do you want, like, it's your experience, your resume, you are looking for a job, you want a relevant banking job, and you are asking me to, like, update your resume and then submit to the client. I never presented that candidate to the client.
Right. But now that we are talking about soft skills, like, while working in Canada for almost a decade now, I think soft skills are biggest. And that's why, so much they put so much weightage on Canadian experience. That is because they want someone with good soft skills, I can say.
With good soft skills who can interact with people well.
Yeah, and integrate in the team.
Exactly, integrate in the team well. Okay. That is what they're looking for.
So what are some of the top skills, like soft skills that, you could tell?
Number one, obviously communication skills. Like I have seen a lot of times, if I'm presenting, as I mentioned, 3 to 5 candidates for one role, right? I know candidate A has more experience than the candidate B, the second candidate that I've presented. But a lot of times that candidate B will get the job. Why? Because he was well spoken. He was able to communicate well.
And in the interview.
Okay. Right? I already knew. I knew when the candidate A got rejected and B got the offer, I knew that what the reason would be.
Right.
Because I also have taken the interview for both the candidates. I know candidate B is more like well spoken. He
Right.
has better communication skills. He's able to articulate his own experience really well
Right.
as compared to candidate A.
Okay.
Right? So, in fact, just like on the soft skills itself, two major reasons, the most common reasons a hiring manager rejects a candidate are actually the soft skills.
Yeah.
One, the manager like gives us the feedback. The candidate was not able to articulate their own experience.
Okay.
What they have mentioned in their resume, they are not able to explain that itself, right? So
Yeah.
you're getting nervous, you are not able to confidently tell your own experience. That is one thing. Second, because in interviews they will be asking you a lot of behavioral questions,
Yeah.
which are
That is big in
which are
Canada.
purely to check your soft skills,
Right.
right? And that is the second most common reason of rejection, that candidate did not understand the question
Right.
and they were just giving answer anything. They were just talking anything because they didn't even understand what the question is.
Right. I'm thinking about engineering papers. People will write anything. That's how they feel. Like this. But for preparation, I feel like people's mindset usually is, oh, I have worked. I know what I've done. I can
Exactly.
just say it on the spot. But
Exactly.
there are so many factors influencing you.
Right.
So in your opinion, preparation is a key.
Preparation is very, very important. I tell all the candidates when I present them and when they get shortlisted for the client interview, I always tell them prepare a minimum of 5 stories, because the best way to answer a behavioral
Yeah.
question is that very famous STAR method.
Right,
And STAR is basically a story.
Right.
Then
Yeah.
you explain the situation, then you explain what
Task
the
you did.
task and what action did you
Yeah.
perform and what was the end result. So
Yeah.
it's basically a short story that you're telling,
Storytelling,
right?
yeah.
So I always tell candidates prepare 5 stories.
Okay.
And each story should be demonstrating a different skill of yours.
Mm.
So when the interviewer is asking you a question, a behavioral question, rather than doing because you are thinking, okay, what should I answer? Right? At least I have already prepared 5 stories. You just need a few seconds to understand, okay, what the question he or she asked me, and
Which
out of
one
which
can
story
I
will
fit in?
will fit in this question.
Right.
And you just vomit that story to them.
Exactly.
Right? So that's why the preparation is very important.
Soft skills. Do you also think that some major things in Canada, let's say the coffee culture, their games, or like weather is what they always talk about? Do you think all these matter as well?
Honestly speaking, these things matter when you are building a connection,
After
when
the
you are
job.
networking, even after the job, but also like when you are searching for a
For
job, when
job.
you're networking
Okay.
with people. These things play a very important role. But during the interview, not that much, because even the interviewer, it's a 30-minute interview,
Right.
right? They will be doing small talks hardly for the initial 2 minutes.
Right.
The remaining 28 minutes will be just focused on
Focus
you.
on the interview.
Right? So not that critical, but critical in the sense that you have to network with people, you have to build connections. For that, yes,
You need all that.
you need all these information for that.
Okay. Apart from the big blunders that people make, like asking
Right.
you to change their
Exactly.
resume, what are some of the other common mistakes you feel like people make that, which is
Right.
really simple
Right,
and
right.
they should?
So I would say one of the most common mistakes that people are making while applying jobs is number one, that they are not customizing their resume.
For every job application.
Exactly. They are sending a very common resume that they have prepared. I will say a master resume that they have prepared and they use it for all the jobs, right? Because like when you're applying for a job, as I mentioned, when I was giving you an example, right? If you're applying for a job, you should read the job description carefully, line by line, understand the essence of the job. So for example, when I say essence, let's take an example for an operations officer role, which is a back office role,
Okay.
right? In a usual operations back-end operations role, mostly what you'll be doing is preparing reports, analyzing bit of data, helping in the implementation or the back-end administrative duties, everything, and some client management at times. But in some operations officer role, a company may want you to focus more on the client management. You are doing the back-end stuff, but at the same time, you're also managing a few clients.
Okay.
Now, the job title may be the same, but the essence of both the jobs is a little different.
Okay.
right? So for the job one, where they are focusing more on the back end and analytical aspect,
Okay.
you want to focus, like in your resume, you want to focus more on that and less on your customer service experience.
Okay.
But on the other role, which is again the operations officer, but in the job description, you understood that they are looking for someone who will be handling clients also. So you have to make sure that when you're writing your resume, there are at least 1 or 2 points in each company that you've worked with, that you are at least writing something about client management, something about customer service, front end aspect of your role,
Okay.
to make it look relevant for that role.
Okay.
Right? So that's one thing that people miss. Secondly, now this was very generic. Fine, you can miss.
Okay.
But second thing, like if your role requires a certification,
Yeah.
right? You have that certification, but still you're not mentioning that in your resume.
Really?
Yeah. Like there was a role in which the technical skill, I won't say it's a certification, but more on the softwares that you will be using. The company has clearly mentioned that okay, the person will be using SQL, Tableau, Power BI, whatever, right? The person has that experience. When he's like narrating his experience to me, he's telling me everything that okay, I do this, I then use Power BI for doing this and everything. And then I checked his resume. I said, then why haven't you mentioned that?
Anywhere?
Like I don't see SQL written in your resume anywhere. I did Control F, I did not find it. I did Control F and tried to search Power BI, I did not find it. Why? Oh, I might have forgot. Like why?
How?
You're not reading the job description.
Right.
Like it's very clear that they're asking for that and you have that experience, then write it.
Right. See, I think that is a missing part of the entire job hunt process. Like people focus on quality.
Yeah.
I have applied 100 jobs a day and I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
get it. I think this should be the reason.
Exactly. Like when I get the calls, because I do these career coaching and guidance calls almost every day, this is the most common statement that, hey Nishant, like to be very honest, Nishant, you won't believe in the last 10 days I've applied for 300 jobs, but I'm not getting any response.
Because
Help
of
me.
this.
And I said, because of this, because you're not applying for the right jobs. I'm 100% sure that there won't be 300 jobs available for you. There can't be.
Right.
Like the job which is relevant to you would hardly be maybe 5 or 10 in the last 10 days. We are just talking about days, we're not even talking about months. There cannot be 300 jobs which are relevant to you. Then why are you even applying for it?
Right.
Apply for those 5 jobs, but spend 15-20 minutes, read the job description, what they're looking for.
Yeah, just to
customize
read.
it.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Customize it. Spend time in networking with people. Find that okay, this is the company. Do I know someone already in that company? Reach out to them. Try. Obviously, when you're reaching out to them, people think that okay, I have to reach out and ask for the referral. No one is going to give you a referral when they don't know you.
Exactly.
Right? It's a question on their goodwill as well.
Exactly.
Right? But what you can do is you can ask that, hey, let's say if I'm reaching out to you, right? I can say, hey Neha, I see that you are working with ABC company and this is the job that I'm applying for. Can you help me connect with the hiring manager or the relevant recruiter who might be responsible for this role? So you're not asking for a referral.
Yeah.
But that person might know that, okay, yeah, for this role, this is the hiring manager, or this is usually the recruiter who hires for. And he can give you the contact that, okay, this is the name, you can reach out to them. At least you are able to reach out directly to that person
Right.
who will be hiring for this role.
Or maybe ask for a coffee chat.
Ask for a coffee chat. If at times, like for a coffee chat, it is too late now because the job is already open and you have to apply.
Okay.
Coffee chat is something which you do side by side simultaneously just to build your connections.
Okay.
But when the job is there and you want to apply, then it's too late for a coffee chat.
Okay.
Right?
Got it.
Then at that time you have to focus that how can I get my resume onto the table
Right.
of the recruiter or the hiring manager. And when I say onto the table, why? Because obviously for that job there will be 100, 200, at times 500
Applications.
people applying for it, right? And if there is only one vacancy, and as a recruiter, if I have to present only 3 candidates out of 150, obviously as a recruiter, I won't be reviewing all 150.
Yeah.
Right? If I start from the first page, right, and let's say I'm able to find 3 amazing, very relevant candidates in the very first 10 applications.
Yeah, why would
my
you?
job is done
Yeah.
as a recruiter. The remaining 140 candidates are just getting rejected.
Yeah.
Why? Not because they're not a good fit, but because I didn't have the need to even review the profiles.
Exactly.
Right? But if you are able to get your resume onto the table of the recruiter, so if someone is reaching out to me, let's say I hired previously one candidate, right? And then he might send me a referral that, hey Nishant, I have a friend who has a very similar background as me, right? So if you have a very similar role available, can you please consider him?
Okay.
Right? At least I got his resume on my
On
table.
the table.
Right? On my
That's
Outlook
right.
email, that this is the person, he's being sent by my previous candidate who has been hired, who has been doing really well
Yeah.
in his current job, I know, right? So I can trust his
Yeah.
friend also. So at least that resume is on my table, right? So that's why I say, like, focus on getting your resume onto the table of the recruiter. That's very, very important.
But again, it'll get your attention only if they have spent really like a day to maybe
Exactly.
a week in actually applying for that position.
Correct. Applying for the right jobs, sending me a resume which is actually relevant, which seems to be relevant. Obviously,
Yeah.
you could be relevant for that role.
Right.
But if your resume is not looking relevant,
Exactly.
then a
Tell me
recruiter
if
would
this
skip.
is true. Usually, I've heard people say, like recruiters or HR, they'll take 5 or 10 seconds and they'll scan the resume and
Yeah.
they'll move on.
Yeah,
If you think he's done a good job, you'll take time to read it.
exactly.
If
I'll
it's
tell
not,
you,
yeah.
As a recruiter, right? Like I mentioned, I hire for so many roles: anti-money
Right.
laundering, investigation, credit, mortgage. But that doesn't make me an expert in anti-money laundering,
Exactly.
in mortgage, in credit, right?
Yeah.
But a recruiter would still be hiring for those different kind of roles,
Yeah.
right? How do we do it? Based on, as I mentioned, who the hiring manager is, what their requirements are,
Yeah.
right? So my first thing that I will check is, are you meeting the requirements? So I'm just basically scanning it just to find, okay, these are the 5 things the hiring manager mentioned, that this is the must have.
Right.
So I'm just scanning it for 10 seconds just to see, am I able to find those 5 things?
Right.
Okay, yeah. He's a relevant fit. That is when I'll spend more time.
More time,
I'll dig into his or her resume to find out more about him.
Right.
But if I'm not able to find, or if I see that, okay, I mean, totally irrelevant.
Yeah.
Why are you even applying for this job?
Right.
Just skip it within 5 seconds.
Right. I think this is a perfect segue to get into the most hot topic or
Okay.
most popular word in the market, AI,
Okay.
which is so relevant to the recruitment industry.
Definitely.
So, do you promote using AI to people or do you don't?
So,
And I ask this because also because some organizations use AI detection
Right,
tool, and
right.
I've heard people say that they'll just trash your resume if
Right.
it detects AI is being used.
correct. Yeah, some companies are using, not a lot, but honestly, one of the best AI detection tool is the recruiter himself.
Okay.
Right? So I'll tell you. So just to answer your first question, do I recommend using AI for job application or not? Yes.
Yes.
Definitely. Right? But don't use it for resume building. Do it for resume reviewing just to make it more refined. If you are building your entire resume through AI, then obviously you don't have a personal touch in that. Right? You can just write a few notes in the AI platform that, okay, this is what I do usually, prepare a resume. Right?
Yeah.
So it will be purely built by AI, but there could be a lot of things, a lot of minute details that only you would know.
Okay. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That only you can add or remove from your resume while customizing it
Yeah.
for the job.
Can you
Right.
give like one example
Example of,
like what are something that are personalized to you that you could add in the resume?
right? So see, like if I'm saying that, okay, I'm a recruiter, right? And I do full cycle recruitment. I usually hire for financial services roles. So I'm just giving these prompts to the AI,
Right.
right? And see, this is the job that I'm applying for. Build my resume,
Right.
right? And if you are using just totally that resume to apply for the jobs, then it might be a blunder. Why? Because the AI will just build a standardized resume based on that, okay, recruitment, financial services, full cycle recruitment. Right? But not necessarily you will have, whatever the AI will build, not necessarily you will have experience in all those aspects of recruitment.
Yeah.
Right? Or whatever he's writing is very standardized.
Yeah.
But you may have some more experience because you may want to add that, okay, these are the kind of roles that I've hired for. This is the volume of hiring that I'm taking care of. These are the kind of clients that I'm hiring for, right?
Right.
You may want to add that.
Or some specifics.
Or some specific that for the job that you're applying for.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why. So don't use it for resume building, but use it for resume refining.
Right.
Right? So like a great tool I found, Notebook LM. I didn't know that it existed even last year.
Okay.
Right? I used it. So Notebook LM, I think it's by Google.
Okay.
Right? So you basically create a notebook where you put all the sources. Now, if you're applying for a job, what sources would be? Your resume, job description, any relevant information you can find from that company's website, vision, culture, everything. Just put it as a source in that one notebook.
Okay.
Right? And your resume as well. And then ask that, hey, this is my resume. This is the job that I'm applying for. This is the company. This is what I do. Just help me refine what I've written.
Okay.
To make it look relevant to this company, to this job.
Okay.
Right? And then you can see that, okay, because it will still have your essence because you are uploading your resume and you're just asking, refine the statements basically. Because at times, obviously, not especially people coming from India, right? We are more comfortable in Hindi and less in English, right?
Yeah.
We may not have that good vocabulary that we can refine a particular statement to look more like
polished,
like more I would say impactful, more influential, right?
Yeah.
That is what you can use AI for to make it more refined in your resume. Also, you can use it for the interview preparation. Now you have entered all the sources. Why not ask the AI?
Right.
This is the job that I'm applying for. This is my resume. Everything. This is the company's vision. This is what they are looking for. This is the culture. Give me some interview questions that the manager may ask me. And then start preparing for that.
So you use it to your benefit, basically.
Use it to your benefit rather than just totally relying on that. Or, okay, I'll build my resume and I'll do it. Because there are actually some AI platforms like Lazy Apply, something like that, for lazy people. That you just upload the information, it will create resume for you and it will find the relevant jobs and will apply it for you.
As well.
Yeah. As an automated process. You are just chilling and partying. Right? And the system is doing that for you. Right? It might work, but it might not because it might be just applying for irrelevant jobs as well.
True.
Right? So you're not putting any essence of
yourself in it.
Right?
Yeah.
That's the thing.
But do you still think people like organizations are investing or using into AI detection?
Honestly, right now, it's not that much. Some very, very big corporates might be using it. I've heard that they are using just to shortlist the candidates, just like the ATS, right? So even for the ATS, like people have this notion that, okay, my resume is getting rejected by the ATS. Not necessarily.
Okay.
Right? 95% of the times, ATS, because what is AI, right? AI is actually being added to that ATS system.
Yeah. Before AI, ATS was used.
Exactly. So ATS is used. So when we are talking about AI detection tool, it's just that the ATS is getting more refined and more technologically advanced, that they are adding AI element to that ATS, which can, based on the keywords and everything, they can shortlist the resumes. That, okay, the person may not be fitting the bill because he's missing these and these are the key skills that they are missing.
Okay.
So that is how the AI is being used.
Okay, but
But the people have this notion that 95% of the times ATS is rejecting my resume. So I have to make it very keyword specific.
Yeah.
Right? Not necessarily. A lot of times it's the recruiter who is rejecting your resume, or as you mentioned, the recruiter didn't have the need to even see your profile. So yes, system is rejecting it, but not because they did not like the profile, but because the 3 candidates were already shortlisted. So sorry.
Okay. Maybe I'm deviating a little, but I just had this question. Cover letters are very big in Canada.
Honestly,
I'm asking you.
Okay.
Maybe because in recruitment, maybe that's not true.
Right.
But when you apply on platforms, maybe
Exactly.
it's still relevant.
Right. So what I tell people, in my 4-5 years of experience recruiting in Canada for one of the major banks, I have never reviewed a cover letter.
Okay.
Okay. So apply and invest time in preparing cover letter only if when you're applying online, you
Yeah.
see the cover letter has an asterisk, which means it is mandatory. Yes, a recruiter might review
Okay.
your cover letter. But if the cover letter is optional, there is no asterisk in
to
that, I'm telling you 95% of the times, no recruiter is even opening
Opening
that
the cover
cover
letter.
letter.
Good to know.
So rather than spending time in preparing cover letter, I would say spend those 15 minutes, refine your resume, customize it. That's more important.
Right. Good to know. But coming back to AI,
Yeah.
what other tools would you recommend apart from the notebook that you
Notebook, I will say ChatGPT is good. JobScan is pretty good. It's been
It's been there forever,
It's been there
right?
for a very long time, and it's very reliable. Like
Okay.
it can tell you that like how much. So basically, JobScan is not helping you build a resume,
exactly.
but it's telling you that are you even fitting the bill,
Right. Yeah.
right? So that's definitely you can use
Job scan for.
to see that is it a relevant job for me or not,
Okay.
or it can tell you what are the gaps in your resume.
Hmm.
Right? Maybe out of those 10 gaps, 6 are the things which you have experience in, but for some reason you did not mention that in your resume. So
Right.
at least you know that okay, I can add that.
Right.
So yeah, so basically the crux is what I would recommend, don't 100% rely on it,
Yeah.
like lazy apply and
Just
the system is applying the jobs for you and not you. Don't do that. Use AI for your benefit, for the refinement of your resume, to find whether this job is relevant for me or not, and to help you prepare for the interview.
Okay.
That is how and why you should use AI.
Okay. Moving on, I think most of the complaints for recruiters,
Ghosting.
you already know this.
I know. So I tell you.
This is such a new term, Gen Z, but you have been familiar with it forever.
Definitely. See, even I used to think the same.
Okay.
Right? When I'm applying for job, why
they
why is no one
talk
applying?
so nicely. Oh yeah, I'll get back to you.
Right.
I'll get back to you tomorrow.
Yeah.
The tomorrow never arises.
Exactly. Even I used to feel the same thing. Why, man? Why are you not even replying to me? Right?
Yeah.
But I'll be honest, though most of the recruiters that I know who are good, even for me, if I have spoken to you, right, that okay, I found your profile good and that is why I gave you a call and we spoke either regarding a job or maybe for future opportunities, right? Then I will make sure that yes, I am replying to you or I am responding to you when I have a job available,
Okay.
a relevant job suitable to you,
Okay.
right? But a lot of times people think that okay, I applied, maybe I got an initial response, thank you, which can be an automated response as well, not necessarily coming from the recruiter.
Right.
And now when I'm asking, no one is responding. Why? Because as I mentioned, as a recruiter, I'm not hiring for one role. I might be hiring for 10 positions, 15 positions, 18 positions. In fact, last year in September, I got a requisition for 80 anti-money laundering officers.
Wow.
Now you can imagine, I won't have time to respond to everyone.
Yeah.
If I will, then I can't do my job.
Yeah.
Number one. Or even if I'm able to do my job, then I'm not able to provide a good service to the candidates that I actually want to present to the client. Right? So no recruiter, at least a good recruiter, does not want to ghost you or not reply to you or not respond to you. But recruiting is a very high volume, high paced job. We have deadlines, as I mentioned, 48 hours at times. Right?
Yeah, which was surprising.
Yeah, so we cannot respond to everyone. Right? Also, a lot of times when the kind of people say that they are ghosting us, they are at times following up every day. Right?
Okay.
I'll tell you one example. It was last year. I got a call from a candidate in a single day, in that 9 to 5
Job
timing.
period, yeah.
102 calls.
Are you kidding me?
102 missed calls from that one number, from that one candidate.
Really?
Obviously, I had to block that candidate, not just from the calling platform, but also from the ATS, that not rehireable. Sorry.
Wow.
You don't have that.
You waited for 100 calls to block him? I would have done it.
No, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Because it was the same time when I was hiring for those 80 requisitions.
Oh.
So I was more focused on that.
Yeah.
Once I got through it, at the end of the day, I saw that, okay, in total it has been 102 now. Okay, now, before ending my day, block this person.
Wow. It's hard for me to believe someone is calling. Maybe
Yeah.
they need job desperately. Who knows?
But still, I mean, if you're doing this, no one is going to give you a job.
Yeah.
Because you're showing that you are not professional.
Yeah.
That this is not, because even if I hire you, let's say you are a very relevant, very experienced candidate, right? If I hire you, let's say for a bank, in which you might have to communicate with the clients. And if this is the behavior that you'll show, client is not picking the call 102 times, calling the client, is not the kind of candidate that I want to hire for my hiring manager or the clients.
Right.
Right. So yeah, basically the crux is no good recruiter wants to ghost you, but the candidate also has to understand that yes, it's a high volume, very fast paced job. You may not get respond for every email or every message or every call that you give.
Right.
Wait, follow up once a week, right? While following up, give some brief, because at times in a day, I'm talking to 20, 25
So
candidates.
many people.
Maybe even after 1 week, I might forget even the name of the candidate. But if you're
Yeah.
following up and giving a brief that, hey, we spoke on this day, this is what the discussion we had, let me know if we have these kind of roles available. Just
And
following
usually
up.
email is the best way.
Email is the best way, because as a recruiter, if I'm already interviewing the candidates, because that's what we do, right? Obviously, I cannot attend incoming calls because I am taking interviews.
Right.
So email is the best way, because it will be written.
It is there.
You know to which email thread am following up with this person, right? And the other person, which is the recruiter, can also see that, okay, this person has already followed up with me 3
Right.
times
Right.
in
Maybe
3
I should
weeks.
get
So
back. Yeah.
I have to.
Right.
I have to get back to him.
Okay. Like before moving on to my next segment, one last thing I wanted to ask, like, is there any niche skill in particular, like, which is in demand for banking jobs, like the corporate positions that you hire?
For banking, I'll tell you, in Canada, right, how is it different than in India? Right? In India, mostly banking is very sales focused, especially if we talk about branch. Obviously, in here also you'll have to make sales, because that is how a branch will work.
Yeah.
But still, it is not that crazy.
Okay.
Because I have my family, relatives and people who are working in banks, and it is crazy in India. Very, very sales focused. But here it's still more relaxed. Why? Because in India, one person is doing a lot of different jobs. They are also doing the mortgage applications. They are also doing the other loans. They are also opening the accounts. They are also taking care of the business accounts as well. A lot of things. Right? They are also doing the KYC, everything. But in Canada, usually you have separate teams for each
everything. Yeah.
of the responsibility or the task. So mortgage processing person will just be doing the mortgage processing. He won't be selling auto loans.
Right.
He won't be opening the accounts.
Right.
Right. So that's one difference. And in terms of hiring, so another difference is that here banking is very certification based. Right. For each step that you take, you have to do some certification. So to answer your question, a particular skill or something that a person should know if they want to apply for a job in bank, certification. To
Okay.
enter into the banking, there are certifications like CSC, Canadian Securities
Yeah.
Courses, and IFIC. But even after you have entered, like my wife works in a bank, every time that when she feels that, okay, I have been in this role for 1.5 years now, and I want to move up the ladder. Now, taking that step there is always one or two certifications that you'll have to first complete, and then you can take that step.
Okay.
So that is one that you'll have to be ready that your studies will never stop if you are in banking in Canada. Because for each step, each promotion, there will be one or the other skill, one or the other certification that you'll have to complete.
Right.
So you'll have to study for 1 or 2 months, give the exam, and then you'll become eligible to get promoted.
I think I've heard this across, so it totally makes sense. Now moving on to Top Mate. What is this Top Mate?
So TopMate is basically, I would say it's a sales page. You can say there are a lot of them, right? So, or you can say a platform where you can manage your calendar or take bookings, just like Calendly you have, right? Similarly, there's TopMate, which helps you not just to manage my calendar and take my bookings, but if I want, I can even create courses on that just to
on TopMate.
Sell those digital products and everything.
Okay, but this is separate from your 9 to 5.
Yeah, this is separate from my 9 to 5. So I do this as a side hustle.
You were top 3 on TopMate ranked by your clients?
Yeah, a lot of times I've been on that top 1%, top 3, top 5.
But that is related to how many people have reached out to you.
How many people have reached out to me, how many bookings I've done, how many ratings I have, how many recommendation I'm getting. So based on that, yes.
So people who are trying to find a job, maybe they are new, you help them through TopMate.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, you can go to my TopMate profile. I have different services. A 15-minute call, just if you want a very basic question you want to get answered and need very quick information. 30-minute call where you want to go a little in depth, want to explain to me that, okay, what's your story? Right, what are the challenges that you're facing and how can I help you? Right, and then if you want to specifically get your resume reviewed, I have a separate service. Then I have a separate service if you want me to review your LinkedIn profile and help you with some networking strategies. So yeah, there are different services based on what you are looking for. You can book that service.
Right. I went through all the services and especially LinkedIn optimization and networking.
Yeah.
Like that was really interesting for me.
Right.
So how do you help with both of these?
Right. So I think it's LinkedIn optimization and networking, right? It's very complementary. Okay. Because right now, obviously, the major platform that you will use to network with people will be LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Right. So that's why to network, first, your LinkedIn profile should be active and should be optimized for the kind of roles that you are applying for and for the kind of profile you have. That's why I usually combine these two things.
Okay.
So what I do is basically I review a candidate's profile,
LinkedIn
profile, and I see what are the gaps, what are the things that he could have added, right? Let's say the about section, right? A lot of times people, they just skip it. They don't write anything. Right? That's not right. You should at least give some brief. Who you are, what's your profession, what exactly you are doing, what are your key achievements. So that if someone is looking at your profile, at least they can get a brief that, okay, who this person is, what he must be doing. Right. Similarly, a lot of times people, so I'll tell you, like a very important thing, the skills, right? So when we talk about keywords matching, right? Because ATS and everything, because even as a recruiter, if I'm trying to source someone on LinkedIn, right? A recruiter is doing Boolean search.
Boolean search.
So Boolean search is basically using and or, right? So let's say I'm looking for a credit officer, right? And let's say I don't have a candidate in my pipeline, so I want to find them on LinkedIn, right? So how I'll search is that, okay, I'll say credit and let's say the person is also doing mortgage. So I'll say credit and mortgage, something like that. Or something else, which might be a nice to have skill. So it's just an or. If they have this also, right? So I use that particular string to find people who are matching these particular keywords. Right. So basically, if you are a credit officer in that case, if your profile doesn't highlight those aspects of your role, because as I said, people in India who are in the banking, they are doing multiple things. One person is doing multiple things, right? So they might not have focused on one aspect. But if you think that, okay, I have a good amount of experience in credit and this is what I want to pursue, and these are the kind of roles that I'm usually applying for, then why not optimize your profile more
According
on
to
the
that.
on the credit side? Use those keywords. In skills, add skills. LinkedIn, I think, gives you a limit of 100 now. Initially, it was 50. Use it because it's a great place to fill it with keywords, which will be relevant for your profile. For your profile, right? Fill it with those skills and get endorsements for those skills.
Okay.
Right? Get recommendations from people. So I'll tell you how. Basically, let's say you and I, we both have exactly the same profile.
Yeah.
Same role, everything same.
Okay.
Right? But I don't have any endorsement on my skills. I don't have any recommendation written on my profile, but you have 3 recommendations. Almost like all your top 10 skills, they are being endorsed by 5, 6, 7, 10 people. Right? Any recruiter will give weightage to your profile.
Right.
Right? Because those endorsements, those recommendations, those skills, right? They are basically helping make your profile relevant and is weighing your profile up against my profile.
Yeah. So these things really help.
These things help. So these are the things which people are usually missing in their profile. They're not writing the about section. They are not writing, like LinkedIn is giving you 100 skills to add. You are adding only 3. Why? Right. So these are the things that you have to make sure that your profile is complete. It's looking optimized for the kind of profile you have. Profile as in the sense of your role and responsibilities and the kind of job that you are applying for.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the problem with everyday people is like they are in a job, let's say for a long time, 4 or 5 years, they haven't done LinkedIn optimization. And now when they go to update LinkedIn, okay, like LinkedIn will give you suggestions and then they'll take, okay, yeah, this is relevant, this. But for you to actually think about what skills, oh, I have done this, maybe I can add
exactly.
that. An expert like you will help.
You have to brainstorm that, okay, what all have I done?
Right.
Right, that I can add, which will be relevant to these kind of roles that I'm usually applying for. So you have to add those details.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, and also a tip that I usually tell people, when you're writing your about section, don't make it look very robotic.
AI generated.
Right? Because LinkedIn is not just a job search platform. In fact, job search came in very late. Networking, originally it is the networking platform.
Yeah.
Right? And in Canada, because you have to network, because you have to build connections, right? So you want your profile to look and sound like a human. So when you're writing your about section, add some personal details. When I say personal details, I'm not asking you to like reveal your anything private and privacy, right? What I'm saying is personal details, something which can be used as a talking point. Right. So similarly, when you are trying to network, let's say if you are trying to network with me, you find my profile, you go through it and you find that, okay, recruiter, YouTuber, financial service, perfect. Oh, okay, this person loves to meditate, believes in law of attraction, perfect. Right? Maybe I'm not directly reaching out to him for recruitment. Why not? Because I also meditate every day. Why not I connect with him using this talking point?
Yeah.
Right? And then build my connection.
Yeah.
Right? So just make it sound like a human and not very robotic.
Right. But how important is LinkedIn? I'm pretty sure the answer is very important.
Very, very important. Like LinkedIn is the heart and soul of the job market in
now.
Canada. Right? To be very honest, even when I see the jobs for the recruiters and talent acquisition, right? 90% of the jobs, one of the requirements will be experience with LinkedIn Recruiter. LinkedIn Recruiter is a platform that usually recruiters use, which is the backend, which is not for the candidates, to find candidates, right? So LinkedIn is that important. That 90% of the companies are saying that if you are a recruiter, if you want to join us as a recruiter, you should have experience using LinkedIn Recruiter.
Right. Yeah, I think. But I've still seen many people that don't.
Yeah, to be very honest, till the time I applied for the Canadian immigration, I didn't even have a profile.
Okay.
Because in India, we don't usually use
so
LinkedIn that much.
Yeah.
I created profile only after I got the passport request email. those newcomer agencies, when I was like going on those events, that is when I realized that okay, LinkedIn is important in Canada. Let me make a profile and start networking with people now.
Okay.
So yeah, that's why like a lot of times people don't even have the profile. Like forget about optimizing it.
Right.
Forget that.
Exactly. How do you exactly help people network with like LinkedIn optimization?
Right. So with network, there are a few things that you can do.
Don't give out your secrets, but
definitely.
still help us.
No, yeah, definitely. Like I'm not giving the secrets, but basically, when you're networking, right, you have to make sure the very first step, when you're reaching out to someone, don't ask for the referral. In the very initial message, you are asking for help. No one is going to help you.
Okay.
Right? Because they don't know you.
Okay.
So don't ask for help. Instead, when you're writing a message, your message should sound genuine, that you genuinely want to connect.
Okay.
Just for building your connection, building your network is what you're looking for, and not any selfish interest, which you would have.
Yeah.
You would have a selfish
but don't
interest.
tell yet.
But don't tell that. Don't express it. Be genuine. Try to build that connection. Try to build a conversation first. Once you know that okay, I've already connected with this person. We had a good chat, good conversation. I maybe was able to invite him for a Teams invite and have a video chat as well, right? That is when you start asking for help, right? So that's what you need to do. So I'll give you an example. I was talking to someone, like it's maybe 3 or 4 years ago, maybe, and that lady was a senior recruiter in one of the recruiting firms, and I genuinely just wanted to build a connection.
Okay.
Right? I found, because she was like writing some posts which are very interesting, not very niche to just the recruiting and just posting jobs, but in general posts as well, right?
Okay.
Which I found very interesting. So I connected with that person without any selfish interest. We had a chat, we had a good conversation, we also had a call.
Okay.
Fine. Okay. Done. Now I just made sure that I am staying connected with that person, just to update what am I doing right now, right? And when I was in the stage when I was looking for a job, fortunately, I saw a post from the same person that she has been promoted to a manager.
Okay.
Now I know that, okay, now this person is in an influential role. And I've already connected with this person before. We have already had a chat, conversation, phone call, everything. Now is the time that I can ask that, hey, just need a help. I'm in the market right now. Just let me know if you have any suitable position open.
Yeah.
Right? So that is how you take forward this networking and connection. Don't just go that, hey, hi Neha, I see you're working in this company. I'm applying for this job. Can you refer me?
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Before moving on to your content creation, one last question I have is, do you have any other success stories of a candidate that you have placed, or
Right. A lot of them. So very recently, one person gave me a call. Sent me an email, and his email was, "Hey Nishant, just writing you this email to thank you that you helped me get my first job. Now that I've completed my first contract, I've become permanent with this company. So just writing you to thank that you helped me with my first job and helped me set a foot in this country."
Such a nice feeling
Such
to get
a nice feeling.
those emails.
One lady, she was a little crazy also, but but it's a very good story. She was trying to apply for a job for more than, I think, 1 year. She couldn't find a relevant job. I mean, obviously she was doing some other survival jobs, but she couldn't find a relevant financial job. So when she got it, she asked, and because at that time I was in Calgary already, but most of my hiring happens for the GTA, Toronto region, because as I mentioned, I usually hire for the back-end corporate side of roles,
Right.
which will be usually in Toronto, right? So she started emailing me, "Nishant, please give me your personal address. I want to send you a
address?
gift. Give me your home address. I want to send you a gift." So yeah, this happens. So basically, like the best part about this recruiting job is that you are able to help people, and then they reach out to you that, hey Nishant, thank you so much. Those thank you emails, thank you calls,
Mean a lot.
they just make your day.
True. And yeah, this is like sort of like rewarding job when
Exactly.
you get such emails, and it's
Exactly.
always nice to hear from
Exactly.
people and the positive stories from them.
Yeah.
Now, content creation.
Mm-hmm.
You have a really big following on YouTube and Instagram.
Right.
More than 144,000 on YouTube.
Yeah.
And more than
Yeah.
80,000 on
Yeah, no, I think
Instagram.
75 or 80 on Insta.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
And for people who haven't tried content creation yet, it takes really hard work, consistency, discipline to get here.
Definitely.
How did your content creation journey start?
So it started because of COVID.
Okay.
Because I lost my job at that time in March 2020. Though I started content creating in September 2020, because meanwhile I was upskilling myself. I was doing the RPR certification, which is for the recruiters in Canada. I completed that. I worked as a volunteer recruiter with one of the non-profit organizations, right?
Okay.
And then eventually I started building the content. We started in September 2020, and fortunately, I won't say like I was doing something miraculous or something very different, but I think what worked out for me was the consistency, number one. Second, one feedback that I get from a lot of people who like reach out to me even now that, why are you not creating the content?
We'll get there.
Right.
I want that answer,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure most of the people
Exactly.
are looking for this.
Right. So most of the people, though they reach out to us, are the ones like when the feedback that they had for us was that we are regardless we are genuine or not, but at least on the camera, whatever we are talking, it looks very genuine. So I think what worked out for us was the consistency and the genuineness, the kind of information that we genuinely wanted to provide.
Okay.
That worked out for us. So started in September 2020, and I think 1st January 2021 when my YouTube channel got monetized. So it took me 3 months.
Really?
Yeah.
That is really nice.
Yeah.
job.
I was hoping that looking at others' stories that it might take an year, but fortunately, like we were able to monetize it within 3 months.
You're really lucky.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I said. Like I don't think I was doing something different.
Yeah.
Right? Obviously, luck plays a part, divine power plays a part, and genuineness and consistency in anything.
True.
It's not just in content creation. I mean,
In anything.
consistency is the key for anything.
Right. Also, how did you came down to like what sort of content you want to create?
Right. So it started with that my purpose of starting the channel was that I just want to provide information. Like it should be purely an informative channel mostly, right? Even if you see my travel related content, at times I try to provide some information bits here and there,
Yeah.
either about the location or whatever is happening.
Right. Yeah.
So that was the purpose, that I need to provide information. Now, what information? Obviously, we had moved to Canada. We went through the entire immigration process. We went through the house hunting. We went through the job search process, networking, everything. And that's like, those are the questions that I was getting on LinkedIn, because when you move to Canada, right, a lot of people who are connected to you, who may want to move or who are planning to move, usually they reach out to you,
yeah.
right? And these were the questions that we were getting like on a very like a almost every other day. Someone is reaching out either on LinkedIn, WhatsApp. My mother is calling me that, hey, हमारे ना ये relative है, उनका ये बेटा है, वो कुछ बात करना चाहता है कनाडा के बारे में, right?
That's always the case.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? So इस तरह के questions आए थे, so we thought, okay, this is the kind of information that we can provide. Immigration related, हमने कैसे अप्लाई करा, हमारा प्रोसेस क्या था, आप कैसे कर सकते हो, whatever. जॉब सर्च का प्रोसेस हमारा क्या रहा, हमारे चैलेंजेस क्या थे, वो हाउस हंटिंग हमने कैसे करी, वो. सो दिस वाज द काइंड ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन दैट आई वाज ट्राइंग टू हेल्प पीपल विद. इवेंचुअली ऑब्वियसली मेरा एक्सपर्टीज एक रिक्रूटमेंट में बढ़ता चला गया. सो देन आई स्टार्टेड मेकिंग मोर content about job search.
Yeah.
A lot of it. Along with that, some travel videos here and there, like once in 2 months or so.
Something, yeah.
Something just to keep things rolling and keep it like entertaining for the viewers as well.
Right,
So that's
right. But I can personally attest to it as well. Like I have been in Canada for almost a decade now, and you were the one who, like, I was watching one of your
Okay.
videos where you were sharing the realtor.ca's website.
Right,
And the demographics you can find of every quadrant.
Exactly.
And what you call like salary range of people living there, age group of people living there,
How many children,
schools.
everything.
I'm like, I never knew this sort of tool existed.
Yeah.
So, and I've bought house.
Right.
So none of the realtors showed me that
Yes,
like this
yes.
existed. So that was really helpful.
Yeah.
Even though I have been here, bought house myself, your video was helpful for me. So
Thank you so much. Yeah, so I like it's who I am personally, to be very honest. I usually, whenever I'm diving into something, I try to research it thoroughly.
yeah.
Right, and that is when I find information that okay, this might be useful. Oh, even I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Now this could be useful. Let's make a content on that now.
And I think your following shows that your genuineness is passing through to your audience as well, and
Right.
that's the testament like you're following. But you know, before before I started content
Right.
creating, even I thought, how difficult could this be?
Right.
But just after doing this for such a long time, it
Yeah.
is time consuming.
Time-consuming.
Takes so much of your creative brain. There is hard work, there is editing, there's so much that goes behind
So
the
much,
scene.
especially
Of
yeah,
just
exactly.
that 20 minutes video, there's probably 20 hours of mine gone in there.
Exactly.
So, how was your experience? Like, I understood. How
Right.
was your understanding?
So my experience, like honestly, because at that time when I started, at that time I didn't have a full-time job.
Oh,
Right?
okay.
Because it was COVID, lost it. I was doing volunteer work. I was preparing for my certifications. So I had time to work on it. In fact, there was a time when I thought that, okay, let me do this full time.
Full time.
Why not?
Yeah.
Right? But then I realized, okay, it's difficult.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, editing a video, especially when you are not a video editor, you are learning.
Yeah.
Like by making each video, you are actually learning the
Learning.
entire process.
Totally agree.
Right, so it was interesting, definitely. Very you are able to use your entire creativity that you have, which you cannot use in your regular 9 to 5
Yeah.
job. So for me it was very interesting. Like I found it pretty good, and that is probably the reason that I was able to be consistent in that. So yeah. Like for me, it was pretty good. Like it was a good experience. Definitely learning, challenging. You are figuring out things. Okay, how do I do this now? But I saw this video. There was this effect. How can I add that effect in my video?
See, that is what my
Right?
brain works now. Whenever I'm watching another video, I'm watching the video, but I'm also looking at editing. Oh, this
Yeah.
effect. Did you see there is a whoosh sound
Yeah.
there? Did you see this is what editing is?
Exactly.
My brain is all into it now.
Yeah. So I usually liked it. I mean, to be very honest. So that's why even now, if I'm not creating content on YouTube, I'm still active on Instagram because I like
You're
it.
more focused on Instagram
I'm more
these
focused
days.
on Instagram these days.
Okay, so I think just answer the question. Just address the elephant in the
Okay.
room now.
Yeah, so the reason I'm not creating content on YouTube as of now, it's not that I don't want to or I don't like it now. I love it. In fact, at times, अभी भी कभी ऐसा होता है कि मैं अपनी ही वीडियो बार बार देख रहा होता हूँ कि यार कितना मजा आया था यार, ये वीडियो बनाने में कितना मजा आया था, right? So ऐसा नहीं है कि that I don't like it and I want to do it, but what I realized, because the purpose of creating this YouTube channel was purely information based, and I am not a kind of guy who can create lifestyle videos and every day putting a camera and showing every single thing that I'm doing.
Yeah.
What food am I preparing, everything. I can't
Do that.
neither I can watch those videos nor I can make those videos.
Okay.
Right? And if we talk about the information, obviously there is a limit to an information that you can provide about a particular topic.
Yeah.
Right? So I did create content for almost, we started in September 2020, right? It's been 4 years. We did it for 4 years, created so many videos. Like if I talk about just the job search, there are I think 80 videos just
Yeah.
about the job search thing. right? So I felt that, okay, I've already peaked that information that I can provide,
Yeah.
the value that I can provide.
Yeah.
Now I started feeling the kind of content that I'm making is forceful just because I have to remain consistent. So I have to show up, I have to make a video every week, but the kind of video I'm making is something that even not like I'm not even liking it.
You're enjoying it.
I'm not enjoying the process because either I've already made that video, it's
Yeah.
redundant,
Right.
or this topic has already been covered 100 times on other YouTube channel.
Yeah.
What value am I
Adding to it.
in this, right? And then that was a time when the cost of living and everything happened for the Canada, and a lot of negative content was more working on YouTube, and I didn't want to do that. So that is when I thought that, okay, let's take a break, because even the other videos that I saw, all of them were making the redundant content only, repetitive
Yeah.
information, everything. So I didn't want to do that. That is why I stopped. I thought that, okay, let me take a break when I'll be in a stage where I have experienced something new now, or I'm learning something new, and that is what I can share with people, which will be a
Then-
new value add. Then I will
Come
get
back.
I will be back on YouTube and I'll start creating content. But for now, let me just focus on Instagram, because it's still a little easier, short-term content, quick information that I can help with, I can create
Right.
and post it on Instagram, which will be easy, and
Yeah.
I can
Still
quickly,
be in touch.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
still being active, still be in touch with the audience, but mostly on the Instagram. But yeah, maybe I will be back on YouTube.
Okay. So, content creation, YouTube, Instagram is at peak in India.
Yeah.
But I feel somehow Canadian content creation market, especially in Alberta, I think Toronto is still doing better.
Yeah.
But Alberta is so dry. What is your experience?
So when you say dry, like in terms of what?
In terms of, there are so many brands hosting events for content
Oh,
creation.
yeah.
There are so many content creators group in there.
Yeah.
There is so much content being created on certain things related to in
Yeah.
Toronto.
Right,
In
right,
Calgary, there is nothing such. There are no content creators groups or meetups happening. There are no
Right.
brands that are like, hosting events
That's true.
or promoting.
I think it will take some time, because a lot of people from Toronto and Vancouver have moved now.
To Calgary.
A lot of content creators who were the Toronto-based creators, that's like
You?
me and a lot of other people that I know,
Yeah.
right? They are now Calgary-based creators,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, I think it will take time, but those kind of events will start happening in Calgary for
I think
sure.
that
but
is when it is like it works in content creators' favor. Like
Yeah.
even they have something to look forward
Exactly.
to. It adds
It
some
adds that
sort of
motivation
yeah, sort
to
of
you. Yeah, exactly.
yeah, to your work.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, but let's talk numbers. I'm not sure much about Canada, but in India, anywhere an account that has more than 100,000 following to 200
Right.
would earn in lakhs, depending on how good you are at like the business aspect of it. 30 lakhs. How's it in Canada?
So in Canada, it is actually more
Yeah.
than India. Like as per the revenue
per
that you
video
get per 1,000 views,
views.
Canada, it's much more than India. But in India, because the population, the number of brands, the marketing that happens, the campaigns that happen, right? So creators are able to make money based on the sponsorships.
Yeah.
And less on the ad
YouTube
revenue,
ad
basically.
revenue, yeah.
In Canada, obviously ad revenue is still not as great as you will find in US and some of the other European countries as well. But it's still decent. I mean, you cannot make a living out of ad revenue. You still need sponsorships, you need brand collaborations. But yeah, when you say in India people are making in lakhs, it's because of the brands and the marketing and the campaigns that are happening.
They are not just doing it full time. They
Yeah.
are just flourishing. They
They
have
are
like
flourishing. Yeah.
I have no words in compared
That's
to
true.
Canada.
That's true.
Okay.
And I think the answer is the same thing that you said, that in Calgary it is still a little dry, right? Similarly, like drier than Toronto.
Yeah.
Similarly, we can say in Canada it is drier than India. Because of the same thing. Population, marketing, campaigns that are happening.
Right.
So that's the thing.
So time.
It will take time.
It will take time.
But yeah.
Okay.
Because like Calgary, I think is totally different how it used to be in 5-7 years. I think you can connect better, right?
Definitely.
Similarly, I think even the content creation will get change. The environment of content creation in Calgary will also change.
Yeah, hopefully soon.
Yeah.
But what is the one message that you want to give to your YouTube family and your subscribers that are probably watching this video?
One message would be, hopefully I'll be back. Stay connected with me on Instagram. I'm trying my best to stay active on Instagram, to just stay in touch with you guys. So be active, watch our reels, motivate us so that we can get back to YouTube. But as I mentioned, for YouTube, I'll be back only when I feel that I have some more value to add, for which I am working on something. Let's see if and when I get succeed, I will be back and I'll share more information and add more value to your life.
Definitely. You should also ask them to subscribe to a small content creator.
Exactly. And meanwhile, please subscribe to Neha, because she's creating some amazing content. She's bringing in some amazing people from different aspects of life, different industries. So there is a lot to learn when you watch the podcast and the videos that Neha is creating. So please subscribe and like the videos.
Thank you so much. And also, like, do you have... You shared some amazing stories related to your recruitment, but also, do you have any interesting messages that people reach out to you asking why you're not creating content or something? Every day,
either on Instagram or on my old YouTube videos, our Instagram DMs. They are filled with these messages, and I feel so bad when I'm reading it that, okay, I know I want to get back.
Someday.
But I will be for sure.
Okay, it was amazing chatting with you.
Same here, Neha.
Yeah, and there was so much like good information related to like job search, LinkedIn, AI that I got from you. I got to learn, and also I'm pretty sure our viewers were able to get the same.
I really hope that.
No, definitely.
Able to add even one bit of value, then I think this podcast is successful then.
Yeah, for sure. And I'll add all his like Topmate, Instagram, LinkedIn account down. Go just say hi to him. Or if you're looking for a job, connect with him. And he's an amazing recruiter.
Yeah, I am.
So any last advice you want to give to anyone who's searching job or...
Yeah, last advice I think will be, I know it's a pretty cliched advice. A lot of people would have already given you that advice, but you may not have taken it seriously. But please take it seriously now. Networking is the key. All the major jobs that I have had in Canada, I've got through networking. So don't just apply online and wait for a miracle to happen. Please apply for jobs, but at the same time, network a lot. Like if you're spending 2 hours a day in applying for jobs, I would say spend 1 hour, and the remaining 1 hour you should spend in networking and building your connections.
This is great. And I think this advice is going to help so many of them who are trying to find a job, especially in this market in Calgary where there are a lot of layoffs happening. So once again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
It was wonderful having you.
Same here. Like I really enjoyed this podcast, talking to you, and thank you so much for inviting me and making me feel important.
Yeah, and if you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and do that now. And I'll see you in the next one.